Good morning and welcome back to Student Victim Assistance Coffee Chats. My name is Miranda and I am a graduate assistant with Student Victim Assistance at Georgia State University. And this morning as I'm drinking my coffee, I'm thinking a lot about self-care, especially during this time, these unprecedented times. And I want to talk more about what self-care actually means and what that looks like, and it's not just what we see on Instagram. So first, let's talk about what self-care is. Self-care is an activity where you take care of your physical, your mental, and your emotional health. It's basically you taking care of you and all of the different aspects of you. And most of us think of self-care as something that's really luxurious. You know, I think a lot of us think of bubble baths and treating ourselves to take out when we don't feel like cooking. And that's only a part of what self-care entails. Sometimes it's something way more basic, like making sure you're drinking enough water throughout the day, getting enough sleep, and exercising, which are a little bit more foundational. They're not quite as luxurious as a bubble bath, but they're just as essential to your health and your care. And sometimes self-care is not fun. Sometimes self-care can be really difficult. Sometimes it can look like setting boundaries, going to a therapist for the first time, which is always a really nerve-wracking, or cutting ties with somebody who doesn't treat you very well. And sometimes self-care is super fun, like seeing friends or taking a vacation. So they're going to be different for each person depending on their circumstances, and likely your self-care is going to look different over time as well. For example, I've changed a lot of my self-care strategies since starting grad school. I'm on my computer a lot, so I'm really hunched over, and I really have to put more energy into taking care of my body, stepping away from the computer, exercising to kind of like counteract the crunching that I'm doing. And that was something I didn't have to do over winter break because I wasn't hunched over my computer as much. So just know that self-care is kind of always changing, and it's going to have to change as your circumstances change. So how can we practice good self-care? Again, it's going to be really individualized, and I recommend that you create a self-care plan. So you're going to sit down and you're going to write down the main areas of your health that you need to tend to. Things, again, like physical health, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, and anything that's really, really important to you. And then each category, you want to start writing down activities that maintain that health. And if you're not really sure, this is a great time to try things out. Especially for me, physical movement has always been something that I've been trying to figure out for myself, and working that into my self-care. And so I've had to try a lot of things like walking, lifting weights, dancing, yoga, tried a bunch of different things to find what I really like. And if something doesn't work, like acknowledge that and move on. You know, don't feel bad if a certain self-care strategy that, you know, maybe your friend really loves doesn't end up working for you. So notice what makes you feel good, notice what makes you throw out of balance, and just, you know, continue to experiment and write it down. Sometimes we forget, and it can be really helpful when we're in a moment where we're maybe not feeling so great, and we can look at our self-care plan and say, oh, you know what, yeah, I'm not feeling too great in my body. You know, maybe I should go take a bath or do a little bit of yoga to loosen up, or, you know, I haven't really connected with my emotional health. You know, maybe today I need to set aside some quiet time, do some journaling, or talk to my therapist. It's really about checking in with yourself, really knowing yourself, and caring for yourself the way that you would care for anyone else that you